Hello everyone! Welcome to my Pokemon Review playthrough, part 14, and today we're gonna be fighting that Wattson guy, yeah, with all them singer dudes in his gym, y'all. Okay, so I make sure I have Timmy in front, I'm like, okay, here we go, and he's like, wah, some music I shall electrify you, and he's like, he's such a jolly old man, I love him. So I'm like, go, Timmy. And it uses Sonic Boom, and I'm just like, oh, you're gonna, like, do 20 damage. And so, like, Mud Slap, bam, there goes his Magnemite. And Diana goes level 20, and she's gonna, yeah, she can learn Spark. And I'm like, you know what, let's get rid of Howl, because I don't see me using that a lot. So, anyway, so he's gonna send out Voltorb. And I'm gonna be, like, Slippy, and I'm, like, almost thinking about singing, like, Slippy. What am I gonna do? I don't know. Oh, I was gonna use Hyper Potion on Timmy, or Super Potion, whatever. So it's like Sonic Boom, and I'm like, Slippy's Absorb, and Slippy's like, I love it when you sing to me. So, and so he has Spark, and I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, Absorb, and it's gonna be like, and self-destruct. I'm like, that was a great play, Wattson. You know, that was so awesome. So I'm like, go Diana, because Diana's purpose is to Thunder Wave it. After it Thunder Waves me. So we T-wave each other like brothers, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I'm just like, you know, we're both paralyzed, so it doesn't matter. So it's like, pew, with the Sonic Boom, and I'm like, Spark, and I keep using Spark, and we're both paralyzed again at the same time. We must be synced. Oh, excuse me. We must be like synced or something. So I sent out Zingers, and oh yeah, because I'm going to try to tail whip its defense down so that my Mudslap will be all, like, epic about life, and then, so Zinger's is confused. I'm like, oh, gosh darn it. So I'm like, Zingers, yay, Zingers, go Zingers, and so he gets 2 defense drop, and he's paralyzed. I'm like, y'all, and I snap out of confusion. I'm like, yes, go Zingers, and then he T-waves me again, and I'm like, paralyzed healed. And it's getting Shockwave, and that's going to do quite a bit to Zingers, like, way more than half. And I'm like, you know what? Just tail whip. Because, you know, it's like your only purpose, Zingers. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but you've got to get his defense down so Timmy can be, like, epic with the Mudslap, and bam! 1 hit KO! Oh, Wattson! Wait, what's his name? Is his name Wattson? Whatever. Yeah, Wattson. And I'm like, I get the Dynamo badge! Yeah! And I got TM34 with the Shockwave, and I might teach it to Diana, but I don't know. And I'm like, why am I trying to go through the maze when there is no maze to go through? And so I'm gonna go into heal because all my pokes are dead except Timmy. So thanks, Timmy, again. You saved the day. You're like, okay, what Ash's Pikachu is to him, Timmy is to me. I swear. So I run into this house and get the HM6. And I'm like, you know, I don't want to teach Rock Smash to anyone. I really don't. So it's being all glitchy about life. Oh wow, really glitchy. Okay, there we go. So I'm like, I'm gonna catch a Zigzagoon. And he's like, no, I don't want to catch an Electric because I already have one and I don't want anyone to enslave it. So I'm like, perfect. You are level 12. You are like awesome, and I'm just going to Mudslap because it's like my weakest move. And after another Mudslap, its health should be low enough that I should catch it. So I'm going to use a Great Ball, not an Ultra Ball, because it's not worth it. Because, oh, after all, it's going just to be my slave. Because that's even what I name him. I name him Slave, and I'm going to drag him around with me as if I need a death fodder or a heal fodder. Bam, I got my slave. And he's also has like pickup. And yeah, it's great. So first thing I do is teach Rock Smash to Slave. Yes, of course. Let's get rid of Growl because it's pretty much useless. And it learns Rock Smash. And I'm like, cool. And this guy's like blocking my way. He's like, no. I'm like, bless. So I'm gonna run this way because now that I have Rock Smash, I can go break the guy and break that thing down. She goes, okay, that's cool, little girl. And I can't see. Yes, I love not being able to see. So this guy's like, so I don't even know, Mike. I just don't know. So he sends out Geodude. I'm like, Metal Claw, and it's like one hit KO. I should have fought him for experience earlier, but whatever. So he sends out Geodude, and you know what? Slippy can take care of this because do you know what Slippy's gonna do this Geodude? That's right, kids. He's gonna absorb Geodude. Yay! And so I absorbed that Geodude, and he has a Machop, and I'm like, way to break the chain. Seriously. So I sent out Diana, and Diana's gonna Spark, because that's her new move. She's like, whoa, Spark, and he's gonna low kick, and I'm like, quick attack, for the win. So I beat Mike, and his Pokemon ran out of power, and I'm like, you poor thing. So Slave has something for me, and he has a Nugget. Thank you, Slave. That's what your purpose should be. So I take the experience share off of Diana, and I can't see, so I send in Timmy, and I'm like, how do I get that, okay, there we go. So I got a max Ether, and I'm like, that will be useful. And so I'm just like, she's like, oh no, my boyfriend's doing everything to see me, even like digging a tunnel. He's like, oh, you shattered that boulder, I will give you an HM immediately. So he gives me strength, and he's like, Wanda, I can see you whenever I want. And she's like, dang it, maybe that trainer shouldn't have done that because that's a little creepy. She's probably not ready to take that next step in the relationship. So talk back to the girl. She's like, I really don't get it, but hey, you know, that's the right outlook on life. And he's like, happy, you bet I am. And so I'm like, you know what, I'll talk to Wally. And he's like, please watch me, buddy, please. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave you and your sick, you know, sickliness self behind. So I'm just gonna run like a maniac to Pokemon Center because even though Slave is a slave, I still want to heal him. I mean, he gave me a Nugget. So I put Diana in front because she needs experience, and Timmy's just like being up there all with yeah. So I thought I was gonna teach it to Timmy, and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to get rid of any of these moves. I like them too much. Timmy has grown attached to them. So I'm like, I'm going to teach it to Zinger and get rid of Tackle. Or, yeah, Tackle. Because, I don't know, Tail Whip came in useful and Sand Attack came in useful too. So, you never know. It still might come in handy. So, I'm running up here like a maniac. And this guy's blocking me about life. And I'm like, oh gosh, let's go. So, Slave uses Rock Smash. And so, I'm going to fight. Oh, wait. No, never mind. I'm not going to fight this guy. I'm going to fight this reporter. And she goes, oh my gosh, we spotted a trainer. Let's fight them. And so they have a Whismur and Magnemite. And my dog is being retarded and like making a whole bunch of noise. So I'm sorry if it's that bad. So I'm like, I just had to use strength and I get a crit. And I'm like, wow, what are the odds of that? And I'm like, hey, but it did a lot. So might as well just, you know, spark that Whismur and strength up that Magnemite. Man. Zingers is a beast now. He's like throwing boulders at things. He's like, you know. So, and she goes, my eyes didn't lie. And she was like, oh my gosh, we need to have an interview now. And I'm like, I'm gonna say what I always say in Pokemon. Do you know what I always say? Well, other than the, well, you know, I say that. You know, I don't ever say anything else. I'm just like, that's all I say. I mean, because I don't ever talk in the show, so why would I talk then? So, I don't know. I'm like, is that a trainer? Sure is. But she's like, would you like to battle? I'm like, okay, sure, Picnicker Irene. And, so I'm like, yeah, about that. So I sent in Timmy, and I'm like, I shouldn't really do that, but I love Timmy. And Timmy loves being stun sport. So something told me to pick Timmy so that he can be stun sport because he likes being paralyzed. So... it's like mega draining all of my life away, and Timmy's just like, headbutt. And Irene's gonna send out Meryl, and I'm like, Diana, because Diana's a cool, and she's like, rah! And so I spark it because it's a cool move, and it's like one hit KO, and that Meryl didn't stand a chance. And Irene was like, you're disgustingly good. And I'm like, I have never heard someone say that, but so I'm gonna use a paralyze heal on not Slave, because Slave doesn't really deserve it, but on Timmy. And that's all the time I have. So thanks for watching, guys, and it means a lot. Bye-bye.